Your name is Richard, and you live in 2 dimensions. Because of this, you can only move left to right and up and down. You are surrounded with other 2D things, like squares, circles, triangles, and other flat things that happen to show up. You live this way your entire life, symbiotic among your shapely friends, dancing left to right and up and down. Suddenly, you encounter something peculiar. It's a floating circle. You touch it and it rolls. Still floating. You touch it again and it rolls out of existence. What is this? What is happening? Why did it disappear? You and your shapely friends are left there, wondering why and how. Now, let's travel through dimensions. Your name is Frank, and you live in 3 dimensions. Because you live in 3D, you can only move left to right, up and down, and in and out. You just met Richard, who only lives in 2 dimensions. You just tried to play ball with him by rolling a sphere into his 2D world. But because he's a 2D being, seeing a 3D object, he didn't quite understand that you were playing with him. This is because Richard could only see a slice of the sphere that you rolled to him, which is the slice that intersects with his 2D world. For him, this can create some funky shapes that seem to change completely and irregularly. Of course, as a 3D being, you can see the full shape and understand why it behaves in that way. The sphere you roll to him isn't floating, it's simply resting in a spot outside of his 2D world. Now, while you, Frank, were playing with Richard, you encounter something peculiar. It looks just like a sphere. You poke at it, but suddenly it changes shape and magically got smaller. You poke at it some more when suddenly it disappears. What is this? What's happening? Wait a second. You understand what's going on. Somewhere beyond your dimension lives a 4th-dimensional being. They are giving you a 4D ball to play with, and while you played with it, the object rolled out of your dimension. Just like Richard, who rolled the 3D ball out of his 2D world, you rolled the 4D ball out of your 3D world. The 4D ball is still there, but because you live in a 3D world, you can only see a portion of it. Now, just like with our 3D world, the 4th dimension has some very special and unique shapes. Some examples are the Klein bottle, the torosphere, the duocylinder, the great icosahedral, the dodecahedron prism, and the castellated rhombicoso-dodecahedral prism. We will explore these shapes and more in our second lesson explaining the 4th dimension. But for now, I hope that this lesson brings you to a better understanding of what 4D would look like in 3D.